Hi.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us again. I've just given everybody a little bit of a brief intro on the turkey. I've got it cooking up here. I'll have to flip it over according to the instructions provided with it. I'll have to flip it over
Well
in 15, 20 minutes. So probably straight after we finish having a chat, I'll flip that one over, and then it'll be about another hour cooking there, and then another hour to rest according to the instructions. So once we make the gravy. Oh, and then I'm going to try the crackling.
You've got to try the crackling. That is the secret weapon. That is amazing.
That's going to be sensational. So, all right. So this is our afterburn. So we chat here and give people a little bit more information about your farm. So perhaps give the history on Kelly Bronze and the farm itself, and what's unique about your turkeys, mate.
Yeah. Well, the history really. The reason we started to do the Kelly Bronze is back in the early '80s when we were supplying butchers. Supermarkets were basically taking over. Now they're cheap white turkey, amazing value. It's a white turkey, the fresh turkey. Traditionally, supermarkets would sell fresh. Sorry, supermarkets would sell frozen, and butchers would sell fresh. And butchers were losing business like crazy to the supermarkets. So, as a small family business supplying those butchers, we had to do something different, rather than just a standard white turkey. So, we thought, what can we do? So we went back to the bronze, because originally, every single turkey in the world originally was bronze in feather colour, and every turkey, and that originated from Mexico. And go on.
So the turkeys that you've got in your sheds there on your farm are the original, or from Mexico, or
originally they're from Mexico, yeah. And originally, every single turkey was bronze in feather colour. So you can get white turkeys, black turkeys, Narragansett turkeys, red turkeys, Bourbon reds, all lots of different types of turkeys. But all they are is just a feather colour, and it's a mutation of the bronze feather gene. The bronze turkey is the original. And that disappeared. It went out of fashion in the 1950s, because when you pluck a bronze turkey, it leaves those little black feather stubs in the skin, what we call stubs. And they were seen to be unsightly. Of course. Can you see the black stubs there? Yeah, you see? Exactly. Okay. So those little feather quills in the skin, they were deemed to be unsightly in the mid-50s. Of course, frozen was becoming fashionable. So the white turkey came along. The crazy thing, the bizarre thing, of course, is white turkey's got exactly the same amount of feather stubs, but because it's a white pigment, you don't see it. So, and it was in the space of 4 or 5 years, the bronze turkey disappeared in the 50s. The modern white turkey took over, and that's an amazing animal, really, because it's been bred for fast growth rate, and it's grown faster and faster and faster every year. And of course, we all want 4 or 5 kilo turkeys, so every year that goes by, it gets killed a bit younger, a bit younger, a bit younger, a bit younger, and which unfortunately with white turkey's got a bad rep for being a little bit dry. It didn't used to be. It didn't used to be at all. Not if you go back 40 years. The turkey was mature when it was processed. Your standard fresh turkey now, nothing wrong with it. Amazing value, but they're only 12 or 14 weeks. Well, you don't have all the bone marrow and the intramuscular fat, and all that wonderful carcass deposition that produces flavour. Right? So so over the period of the past 40 years, the bronze turkey's went out. The bronze turkey went out of fashion in the 50s, but over the past 40 years, turkey's become a little bit more bland. Well, in the early 80s, we could see this was going to happen, so we brought the bronze turkey back in, and it was tough because we were a tiny little business. We didn't have any money to promote it. We knew in our heart of heart it was the right thing to do, but of course, if you haven't got any money to promote anything, it's really hard. But then Delia, good old Delia, she heard what we were doing, came to the farm in 1989, saw what we were doing, loved what we were doing, the breed, the process, the dry plucking, the hanging, and put us in her Christmas book. And suddenly we were taken seriously. We were a laughing stock of the industry the year before. Delia mentions us, and everyone started to take us seriously. So it's Delia she gets a free turkey every Christmas. We love Delia.
Fantastic. Well, I hope Barbecue Lads adds to your credibility.
Thank you so much. Great to be on. It really is. Yeah.
Obviously, your turkeys have grown a little bit longer. They're an original breed. You grow them a little bit longer. You grow them out on the farm. what do they eat? What's their lifestyle? What's their growing up?
Right. Well, what we do, ours is a slow. It's the traditional breed, so they hatch late spring, early summer. So typically late May. So then we keep them in a what we call a brooding building for 4 or 5 weeks, keep them nice and cozy and warm, and then we let them release them into the free range and into the woodlands in late June, typically. So they go through spring, summer, grow through autumn, into winter, and like now we're just starting to pluck our Christmas turkeys. Feed-wise, it's mainly wheat. It's local wheat that we feed, and the protein content of the bird is soybean or peas, local peas. But they love pumpkins. And what we found with has Halloween's become so much more popular here. All the pumpkin farms, we bring them all in after Halloween because a lot of them get wasted. Smash them up, or smash them in half, put them in the turkeys, and so all of our turkeys get a pumpkin pie. Well, not pumpkin pie, I guess, but they get pumpkin at the end of October, beginning of November. So,
oddly enough, pumpkin's a bit of a favourite of mine, and actually, for the turkey we cooked up today, we actually went up this morning and we've got pumpkin to enjoy with it as well. In Australia, it's a bit more of a popular thing, pumpkin, than here.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. It is lovely. Absolutely lovely. But turkeys love pumpkins. They love soft fruit. I mean, they're in the woodlands. We've got lots of where they go under the soft fruit orchards. They'll eat all the cherries and they love blackberries. Absolutely love blackberries. They'll go under the blackberry bushes and they'll actually rustle. They know that if they get in there and shake the bushes about, the blackberries will drop, and they absolutely go mad for them. Absolutely go mad. It's lovely.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah. It's always curious to know what they eat and what they get up to during their, or their life. So they grow then. They're growing most of the year. Then they're not just growing, for the season, for the end of the year. You're running this all year round,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the breeding season. The hens come into late March, early April. So we set the eggs into the incubators, onto the farms, out to the woodlands in June, July, free ranging right the way through. You see your average fresh turkey hatches late September, early October. They're 12 weeks at Christmas, where ours are, like I say, that natural season, grown through the 4 seasons. And then that is that maturity that brings flavour. The old saying, the older the bird, the better the flavour. It really is true. Yeah. And it's, So, it is true. It is absolutely true, because you've got, like I say, the marbling in the meat. When you get that carcass, because they're so mature, they've got bone and bone marrow. If you kill a really young turkey, it's still more cartilage, and all that bone marrow hasn't produced. And as we all know, the bone marrow is what produces a wonderful stock, and a wonderful gravy. So you can't get that from a really young bird. And it's but it does. It really upsets me that when people say turkey's dry. Now you look back over the years, it's not. But all this basting came along, all the brining came along, the tinfoil, shoving butter on the skin, all that came along because the moisture and the flavour was being taken out of the turkey by killing it too young. Right? If you go back to these old traditional breeds grown to full maturity, they produce its own wonderful stock, and it doesn't need any help. And I'm not decrying the standard turkey. It's an amazing value for money, and of course, our turkeys are very expensive. So we're producing for the privileged few that can afford it. The supermarkets are selling for the people that can't afford the types of turkey we're producing. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, because I've turkeyed before and brined it, rubbed the butter under the skin. But I'm pretty sure that this one here is going to be pretty flavourful and pretty juicy without any additional cooking methods or anything else involved. I'm quite excited to have it.
But what did you think of the cooking time, Henry? I mean, people freak when they look at our cooking times.
Yeah. Usually it would have been another hour or two. When I opened up the instructions, there was the cooking time, which was only a couple of hours. I was like, oh, this doesn't seem right. And then also to the cooking temperature, it was a lot lower than what you'd ordinarily expect. So, why is that? Why is the cooking time less, and why can it be eaten at a lower temperature?
Well, the cooking time's less because we talk about that maturity. and the extra fat that's producing the bird, well, that fat marbling running through the meat heats the bird up. Fat heats up quicker than muscle. So that fat conducts the heat through the bird a lot quicker. So it'll cook at typically, at least 30 to 40% quicker than a standard bird. And when we look at the temperatures profiles that we can cook at, because we dry process, we don't use any water in our process, and we hang the bird, bugs need water to grow. So if you're hanging the bird in a dry environment, bacteria, spoilage bacteria, cannot grow, right? So you're not producing those bugs that are dangerous. And during the hanging process, any salmonella that's there will die, because salmonella needs oxygen to survive in the gut, and during hanging it will die. So it's a very, very, indeed, I will have turkey tartare. I will take the thigh meat from our turkey, mince it, and have it tartare. And we've people, when I'm having dinner parties and they're trying to give them turkey tartare, they think they're going to die if you have turkey tartare, but not if you have this dry. So that's another big thing that's different. It's a dry process, so it cooks a lot quicker because of the marbling, and then because of our dry process, the temperature profile we can cook at is lower than a standard bird.
Yeah, I saw that in your in your instruction guide here that comes with it. That you're looking at 60. You like the turkey yourself at 65 degrees. That's the 60 degrees rather, and but perfect is at 65. I was like, whoa. Yeah,
that's right. Because if you take it out at 60, it's still a little bit pink and a bit running. There's a bit of blood in the thigh, which is that's the way I would eat it, because I know the product's safe. But your average person getting a Kelly Bronze for the first time, if they see blood or a little bit of pinkness in a turkey, they genuinely think, we can't eat that. There's this huge dilemma, isn't there, on Christmas Day, and especially with our bird. It comes out of the oven. We've got the thermometer there. The temperature says it is cooked. It looks cooked. Everything about you is telling it's cooked. And then people stick it back in the oven for another half an hour just to be safe, right? Now that, of course, is a complete disaster, because you overcook the turkey.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And then also too, you got here an hour of resting time, leave it uncovered, as well. Like that was, I don't know, an hour.
No.
I would have given it an hour ordinarily, but I'm going to stick exactly to your rules here. When I flip the turkey over as well, pierce between the leg and the breast, and see what juice comes out. Yeah. I've got some things in there. Got there squash, carrots, onions. Oh, sorry, onions, carrots, bit of celery, and the 500 mils of water. Yeah. So that's gonna go really lovely and make a really nice gravy. I've got the giblets out there. They're being boiled up at the moment. So I'm gonna make a really.
Doing the whole thing. Yeah. We were chatting earlier, weren't we? Earlier in the week about people and the resting time. You talked about an hour. I know we said people take the turkey out of the oven and they think this thing's going to go cold within minutes, right? And they cover it in tin foil and a load of blankets to keep it warm. We know that's just you creating another oven, and the bird will continue to cook. Once the bird's at temperature, you then have to start to take the heat out of the bird. So you take it out of the oven and you let it stand uncovered, and it will take 3 hours for the turkey to go cold. An hour. You want to, it's 30 minutes minimum, ideally an hour before carving it. And of course, as you say, you rest the meat and it's a lot juicier, isn't it? You bring it all back and it keeps all the juices in the meat.
It is. I'm so looking forward to having a slice of the turkey, mate. Even on the back here, you've got the carving instructions as well, which, I'm really looking forward to trying. To be honest, I kind of made it up myself before how to do it, but now I've got a bit more of a structured way to do it. I'm going to give it a go. Wings also too. Turkey wings. Like I was telling Jack earlier, that's my discovery of 2020, I think. I love turkey wings.
They're great. But Jack, try mine. Try taking it out to 60. Be a little bit pink and there'll be a bit of blood on the inside. But honestly, it will be amazing. Go on, risk it, Hillary, risk it.
All right, mate. I'll do it. So I had a couple of questions actually from my dad about turkey farming, because I grew up in a rural part of Australia. I was on a farm till quite young. My dad was a farmer, so and he had a couple of questions for me. He said, turkey eggs. So how come you never see turkey eggs around? You get duck eggs and quail eggs. How come people don't eat turkey eggs?
You can. We do. We eat turkey eggs, you know, all summer when we're producing them. The reason is they're not readily available is because they're so expensive. You know, a turkey egg will typically cost £1 to eat. To put it in perspective, a chicken will lay 380 eggs. A turkey lays 120 eggs. A turkey eats 3 times the amount of food that a chicken does to produce that egg. And a turkey...
Okay. Yep. On your phone. Okay. I'm not sure if everyone else can we hear you then? Oops, it's gone a bit crackly. Let me just reconnect with you. Okay, hang on. All right, reconnecting there now. I've got a couple more questions. Want to find out more?
That's on.
Yeah, there you go. So it gets a bit odd if people ring whilst we're on the phone. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, I just thought I've never seen a turkey egg around before. I thought that's a good point. I mean, turkey Scotch egg. Wait, that could be.
Yeah, no, we do that. We actually sell Waitrose stock them in the UK. We sell Waitrose eggs at the beginning of the year, and they sell turkey eggs in store, and they are great for baking.
Okay. And then the other question was, because we get it when we grew up, we had chickens out the back, but how do you keep the foxes away from your turkeys?
We've got an electric fence, so round the corner of around the perimeter of the field, we just have one strand of wire, and actually that is and that's got, I don't know how many amps going through it. It's just one strand of wire, and if the fox touches that with his nose, he never comes back. You know, but we do have to work very, very hard at making sure that fence is active and on all the time. Okay.
Yeah, no, I remember when we had chickens, the foxes used to dig underneath the edge of the chicken hutch, you know, and then that was it. Once the foxes were there, then all the chickens would just hide in the corner and scare themselves to death, and that was it. It's the chicken.
And you know what upsets me about the fox is they're not they don't kill because they're hungry. They kill for fun. You know, if the fox does get into the pen, that'll kill 100 turkeys just like that. Bite their heads off, and it's killing for fun rather than to feed its cubs or anything like that. So, I'm not a fan of foxes, if I was to be honest.
No, I mean they're there. They exist in Australia. They're actually introduced, so you know they were not there. So you know, not that bothered with them either myself. But okay, then. Yeah. So on your farm, you're based in Essex, then, and you process everything there. For people to get one of your turkeys, can they order online? What's the best way to get a hold of a Kelly Bronze turkey?
Yeah, just go online, kellybronze.com, and you can go online, and we delivered on the 23rd of December to your door. I come with every turkey personally, cook it and carve it, do the canapes, clean the kitchen. No, I don't. All right, but I'm hoping they'll sell one at least.
I think they should put Ellis. You should put that option at the bottom of the website. You know, click and pull to the basket.
Yeah,
no, and then a couple of other little questions. Then I see that you're in the Guinness Book of Records as well, related to turkeys.
Oh, yeah, look, you've got the picture here. You see that? Where are we? There we go. There's me holding my records. Guinness Book of Records. There we go. Yeah, I've got It's sad, but it's dry. I'm the fastest plucker on the planet, is what I like. And I'm also the world's fastest turkey carver as well. It's
Okay. Is that the 2 Guinness Book of Records then?
Yeah. Fastest plucker. I think it was Gordon Ramsay actually. Gordon Ramsay challenged me at plucking turkeys. And so the Guinness Book of Records came down here to the farm where I'm sitting now, just at my garage, and we plucked 3 turkeys. He honestly thought he would beat me, and he was I can tell you, he was incredibly competitive. But he wasn't going to beat me at turkey plucking, that is for sure.
Well, yeah, there's probably a few things there I could go on with, but I'll leave it at that for now. But yeah, no, that's really cool. And then, oh, just quickly, look, how's that?
Ooh, lovely. Cool.
Little baby ones. They're going to go really nice with that turkey a bit later. They're nice and colourful too. So
excellent. You're going to roast them?
Yeah, I'll smoke them in the barbecue here.
Yeah, great.
I've still got me 180 here. I've got to turn over the turkey fairly soon. So yeah, all right. Well, I'd better leave you crack on for your weekend then. And first of all, just say a massive thanks from Jack and I for the turkeys that we're cooking up, and we'll get some pictures up on Instagram. Thank you so much for that, and also thank you for the prize for the winner as well. We're honoured to speak to you, and honoured to have you on our humble little Instagram show, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me on. It really has been a pleasure. Happy Christmas, everybody.
All the best, mate. I'll catch you soon.
Cheers. Bye.